So let's talk about Urge 7. I met Urge, I think it was at his house, maybe about 10 years ago. And when I first met him, he actually was showing me he had like 30 mixtapes and like 20 albums. And the interesting thing is, when I met him, he had all the albums and mixtapes actually. Like I think he had them like kind of highlighted or posted on the board. They're kind of set up where you can see them. And who knows how many albums he has out now? I mean, he stays working, he stays putting out music at a pretty high clip. He does a lot of films and everything. So it was very interesting to meet him. I remember the first time we were sitting down, he was showing me on his phone. He had all these different like advertisements and different things with his face on it, Urge 7 promotion. And just really like just a solid dude as far as like, what I'm saying, work ethic and, really putting his energy out there as far as making music and creating. So we fast forward, we're putting together the independent. And of course, I had to go ahead and ask him if he wanted to be part of this independent series, just because his stories are so interesting. He starts off, being signed. He goes ahead and he puts out his music at his own clip. Like I said, independently, he has his own studio. When I first actually met him, he did have music in his studio. He was actually recording and things like that. And we shot a lot of the episodes of Independent at his house. He's just a kind of a solid dude like that. Anytime I actually talk to Urge, like I said, we'll conversate about a project or we'll conversate about things that are going on. But he always kind of gives me a light and energy of what I'm doing, which is actually kind of refreshing sometimes. Maybe sometimes you're putting together certain projects or maybe you don't see what you're doing, but he always lets me know, hey man, you were out on tour, you did a nationwide tour, you put together, the independent, you're always working, you're always grinding, your creativity, and he kind of gives me a new energy that gets me going again. Sometimes when maybe I'm not even feeling like I'm actually making a dent on it. But his episode, I think, is one of my favorite episodes in Independent because his story is so prolific and he goes into depth and he really gives us some stuff that maybe people are not, I guess maybe don't give up sometimes. He's telling us about like family, he's telling us about recording, telling what his drive is, and a lot of times, even in interviews, maybe some people keep things a little bit guarded. And one thing I know for Urge 7 is never at a loss for words. Like I say, even with the rhymes, when having a conversation, that's why I knew when I told him, hey, this is gonna be kind of a long form, long answer project, whatever. I knew I had no problem with that because he was going to give me the full answer in its detail, which makes his episode so compelling. Like I said, he's really giving up just really good information, really his struggles, his ups, his downs, the highlights, and everything that happens in his episode with his. And I just thought he was kind of the embodiment of what it is to be an independent artist sometimes. You persevere, you keep putting out projects, you keep making things happen. And that's kind of what Urge 7 does. Like I said, even as he's putting out music, it's always constantly coming. You always see him in a new film. You always see him maneuvering and kind of grinding forward. And even, like I said, I don't know what his day-to-day is like, but man, I'm telling you, when he's putting in work, you can tell he's putting in hours and hours, maybe days on days, maybe no sleep. So it's just dope to actually highlight that and check out his episode. And like I said, I met him. He's a good friend. We do have music together. I don't know what happened to the music though. I gotta actually hit him up, man. So if you guys see him, go on his page and ask him, wait, what happened to that Mike the Middleman Urge 7 compilation or the album you guys put together? But we do have some songs. Like I said, he came out for us for Knuckles. He played a pivotal part as far as being the boss's like sideman, his right hand. And really gave a lot of dynamic to it, whatever. So a lot of times when I have a project and I'm reaching out, man, I'll hit up Urge first and ask him like, hey man, we got something such and such going on, or we have this going on. And 9 times out of 10, Urge is probably going to be down for the project. He's going to add a lot of depth to the project, and that's why I think his episode was so interesting and so dynamic in the independent, whatever. It was just dope, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to highlight how I met him, how he got on the show, and why he was the first episode. Like I said, I think he has a long, detailed story of what it is to be an independent artist, even as an actor or a musician or a producer or putting together projects. And I thought he would be the first one to launch that off, and he even gives us a little personal side of things that he had to do as far as even music and creating to reach out to his family and things like that is kind of maybe he doesn't have that kind of connection with. So I thought it was a dope episode, and I just wanted to kind of give an update on the things, all things Urge 7, whatever. So if you get a chance, go check out Independent. It's on KayatickStyles.com, KayatickStyles.tv, and kind of take a deep dive into my man's story. Like I said, it's a super dope story, man. It's got his ups, his downs, might be a little tearjerker here and there, but Urge is he's a storyteller, so he's definitely going to give you the answers and let you know exactly what's going on.